Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the briefing for Monday, the 17th of June. So the synoptic situation last night, we see we got low pressure up to just the north of the country there and winding forwards to midday today. That hasn't moved very much, and they've painted on here this trough line, just extending sort of from the very northeast down into South Wales. Not going to affect us here at Lasham, but it is going to affect where the task area is, bringing with it some showers by the looks of it. Winding on to tomorrow, similar picture really. Trough line a bit further up to the north. Looks like quite a slack area around here. Quite light winds. And continuing on, Wednesday, high pressure building in from the Atlantic. Looks like we're just on a ridge of it here, so could bring it with it quite a nice day. Winds today, nice and light, about 5 to 10 knots. A little bit stronger up to the northeast, 15 knots. In the Lasham area, probably about 250 degrees, something like that. Okay, looking at the sat pic, you can see lots of cloud is up to the north, probably associated with that trough or possibly left over from the occlusion it showed on the chart last night. Otherwise, clear in the south of the country. A few little bits of cloud just down in the channel there. You can see again a little bit of rain up here to the north associated with that occlusion and or the trough. Again, as we run through the rainfall forecast, we can see development from about 12 o'clock, quite a long way to the north. You can see it extending into the South Wales up to the northeast there. And that continues further into the afternoon, potentially spreading a little bit further south. You see at 3:30 here, it's showing a couple of showers nearer to us down into the West Country, but also around here. And later on in the afternoon, sort of disappearing, but it looks like the line is getting a little bit close to us. You can see it 5:30 here, sort of showers, Hereford area, and to the east, and essentially as far south as the M4 sort of area. Public forecast for Lasham then showing it to be pretty sunny to begin with, and then clouding up a little bit into the afternoon. Top temperature of 17, 18 degrees, and dare I say it might actually feel quite mild out there, with a relatively light breeze from the southwest gusting into the early teens. Highest on here is about 14, so nice light winds and reasonably warm. UV getting up to about 6 or 7, so definitely need sunscreen today. So temperatures at 12 o'clock, 17, 18 to the Lasham area, possibly 19s up into, or sort of up to the northeast here into the task area, a little bit cooler down into the West Country, and up to the north where we're probably not going to be, it's a little bit cooler anyway, about 14s and 15s. Winding that forward to about 4 p.m. Might even get 19 degrees around here. And yeah, 17 to 19 up into Cambridgeshire. And similar picture, really. If we have a look at dew points, midday around 9 or 10 in the Lasham area. And it's quite consistent, really. It's actually quite low here. Most places are 10s, 11s. Let's wind that forward a little bit. Yeah, just getting a little bit damper into the afternoon, showing a few 13s on here. But I think that's just to the north of where people are going to be going. That's the view outside about 20 minutes ago. Just give that a refresh. Yeah, you can see it's developing quite nicely. It's probably soarable just about now. And you see windsock quite limp at the moment, showing a steady breeze from the southwest. See temperature and dew point opening up quite quickly already. 13.5 was the last observation, with dew points down at 9.5. So cloud base probably about 1500 at the moment. Dave Weston's forecast, he reckons about 200 to 300 locally, 500 if it happens to dry out. It looks like from the rainfall, it's not going to dry out that much, but generally good into, well, yeah, he's showing north of the M4 might be showery. Good into Norfolk and sort of Cambridgeshire area, I think. And he's saying it should be soarable and cross-countryable by 11 a.m. Farnborough, Metar, few clouds at 3,000 feet, otherwise no significant weather. Okay, top Meteor potential flight distance then showing it to be very good in the Lasham area. and quite nice up into Cambridgeshire and Norfolk, but notice it deteriorates very quickly as you go sort of north and northwest of that. Also quite poor down into the West Country on this forecast today. We run through thermals from 10 a.m. You can see convection to about 2,000 to 3,000 feet, a little bit sporadic there, better by about 11 up to potentially 4,000 feet, and winding it through into the afternoon. We've got about 1,600 meters here, so what's that, about 4,500 feet? Possibly blue up towards Cambridgeshire by the looks of it, and it's showing much further north, similar to that line we've seen before, overdevelopment and some showers as you go further and further north. Looks like a little bit of influence from the sea air later on. That's coming in. I don't think it's going to cut us off at Lasham, but you can see it blowing out and the soaring weakening there. If we look at our site forecast. So usable height above the ground getting to about 3,500 feet by midday. Thermal strength about 3 knots by 11 o'clock, 3.5 knots into the afternoon, and working until just about 6 o'clock, by which point it will be about 4,500 feet above the ground. So quite a nice day looking at this. Okay, sky sight. It's not loading very quickly today, but okay, there's your potential flight distance. Looking very nice, similar picture. They're showing it to be a little bit better down into the West Country than Top Meteo was. Otherwise, good up into Cambridgeshire and Norfolk by the looks of it, and then deteriorating if you go much further north than that. I'm just trying to get a point forecast, but it wasn't really having it. Okay, here we go. So point forecast for Lasham. Yeah, it looks quite steady. You can see cloud developing as the day goes on. Thermal strength about 3 knots by 11 o'clock, 3.5 knots going into the afternoon, and it's showing it getting a little bit weaker from about 3:30, with the lower cloud thickening a little bit less sun on the ground. We have a look somewhere a bit further up to the northeast where you might be going. Bear with me. Up towards sort of Tiverton area. Yeah, similar picture really. Thermals looks like they're staying a little bit better for a bit longer. It's not showing the cloud thickening quite so much, and about 3.5 knots until much later in the afternoon, about 4:30, and then starting to weaken. So it looks like quite a consistent day actually. Maybe just clouding over a little bit too much at Lasham. Okay, NOTAM wise, there's nothing really to affect. If you happen to be going that far, 52 and 53 up here to the northeast, right on the north coast of Norfolk. 52, we've got article dropping with 5 nautical mile radius at Sculthorpe. And 53, whole beach danger area is active. Otherwise, nothing really is going to affect us today. Operationally, nice and easy today. Standard setup on 27 with a launch point on the runway here. Winch cables running down the edge of the runway. We'll probably have the winch cables to the southern side of the gliders. So you'll be winch launching with the cables on your left-hand side here. Club aerotows from the runway. And I think we almost certainly will be busy enough for a grid. So grid in the normal place, please, on the north side grass. Okay, for the club pilots, we've got 3 K21s, 2 K13s, 2 baby grubs, and 3 discuses. We can probably make some of those available today if you're not already booked in. Possible Navajo movements, they were booked in, but I haven't received any formal notification, so assume they're not going, but don't be surprised if they are. Again, for the club pilots, please make sure you're lifting the tail wheels of the tail heavy gliders, especially SX6 and the discuses. Don't lift it by the rudder or the fin. You need to push on the nose, and if there's a tail dolly available, which there is for all of them, please use them. The simulator is also serviceable if anyone would like to use that. Looks like a good day. See you out there. Bye for now.